welcome to Make It with Miss Mandee, where I take some time to put one of my paper craft projects together from start to finish and give you a few tips along the way. Today I'm going to be making one of my Disney-inspired paper lanterns. I've created dozens of these over the years, as you can see, and I just love making them. If you want to download them for yourself, they're all free and you can get them on my website. The lantern that I'm going to be assembling today is my Alice in Wonderland paper lantern. It's one of my very favorites and I'm excited to make it with you today. All you need to make this project is one sheet of 8.5 by 11 cardstock, some hot glue, a cutting machine, my free template, which I'll include a link in the description, and some translucent vellum. And if you don't have vellum on hand or you think it's a little too pricey, then I've seen people use wax paper or even tissue paper instead. It might not hold up quite as well, but it's a good alternative for sure, and something that you might actually have in your house already. So let's get started. Alright, here we are. I've got my design uploaded in Cricut Design Space. I have my 65-pound cardstock on my Cricut mat and into my machine, and I've got my materials set to light cardstock. And we're ready to go. Okay, my cardstock just finished cutting, so I'm going to unload that. And then next I'm going to do my vellum. And my machine has gotten disconnected. Which has happened a lot lately for some reason. Here we go. Okay, and then for the vellum, I am just going to set this also to light cardstock, but I'm actually going to change the pressure to less. Just because it's a little bit of a thinner material and because it's more delicate, I don't want it to rip. Okay, so light cardstock, pressure less. And we're ready to go. Okay, since this design has so many little tiny details in it, I thought I would show you how I get this off of the Cricut mat because it can be a little bit tricky to do without tearing. The main trick is to flip your mat over like this and then to peel away from the mat instead of just pulling directly up on your material. This will help you a lot. I also made sure not to use a mat that is like brand spanking new because it's really extra hard to pull really detailed designs off of brand new mats. So, okay, so I did the outline first, I got that part off. And now I'm just going to really slowly, really carefully peel the rest of my lantern design away from my mat. Always fun to do this and see all the little details come through. It's really exciting. Be really super careful around swirls, especially like we have right here. The Cricut has a little bit harder time with those than just straight lines, and your paper can tend to snag. And those are the parts that'll tear the easiest. And sometimes after I've pulled up most of one side, I'll flip it over and do the other side. Once again, just trying to go really slowly, carefully, so I don't rip anything. When a design takes that long to cut, it's always a shame when you have to start over. This is definitely one of my most detailed pieces too. So, alright, so there you go. I'll have to weed this out later. Obviously, I've still got some pieces hanging on, but there you go. You can see everything's still intact and should be set. Alright, I've got my design all weeded. I got all those tiny little pieces out, and now I'm ready to assemble it. So, I'm just going to flip it over and then take my vellum. And before I glue anything, I'm going to get this perfectly lined up. Okay, once that's all lined up, I keep shifting it. Come on, stay straight. Alright, I'm going to just lift up one corner, take my hot glue, and glue just one corner down. Once you even have one corner down, everything else will stay in place a lot better, and you can make sure that it'll be lined up the rest of the way. Make sure that you don't glue anywhere where there's going to be a fold, because then the glue is going to make your fold look really wonky. I just add dabs of glue as I go along. I don't do like huge sweeping blobs of glue. I've done it both ways actually, and I prefer the way it looks with only a few dots of glue. So with this design, I'm just adding them to the Cheshire Cat's face, which he's like my favorite part of this design, by the way, because I love how he disappears a little bit more on each panel. I was really proud when I designed that part. And I'm just going to add a little bit of glue on each of these panels. Okay. And you can use other glue if you want. I just prefer hot glue because it's really quick. Next, I'm going to fold. And I like to use a bone folder. You don't have to if you don't want to. I just think it makes it easier. I always start off just with my base piece. It's just what I always do. Fold each of the tabs. Always get hot glue all stuck to me. If anyone can ever invent something that can get the hot glue webs that can keep them from getting stuck to you constantly and to your projects, man, I would take that in a heartbeat. So annoying. I swear, half of my project time is dedicated to cleaning off my hot glue cobwebs. So I'm just creasing as I go along to get a nice crease in each of my tabs. Oh yeah, gotta do this one as well. Okay, and then to know where to make your folds on this design, it's pretty easy. You can just take the edge over here on this side and line it up with the edge of your vase. There we go. And then when you do your next fold, you just line it up with the fold on your tab. And obviously it should line up with your base fold as well. More hot glue cobwebs, always. And then this is always the last fold I do, is on this side. You want to make sure that you keep your folds nice and uniform so that your lantern comes together and fits perfectly at the end. Okay, got all my creases in, and now it's just time to glue it together. I like to do this by, I start with this side, and I just put a couple dabs of glue, once again not even all the way across, just a couple dabs, 1, 2, and I fold it over like this. Let's see, show you a little bit better, and then just push down. Sometimes I even use my bone folder to make sure it's stuck really good. Do that again. I'm so shaky. Sorry, it's getting harder to see what I'm doing. But I'm just doing the same thing, just gluing down each edge one at a time. Before I do the last edge, one thing I like to do is take this little piece right here by your end tab at the very bottom, and I just tear it, just like a tiny bit. And I just found that if I do that, it kind of slides in really nicely right there and fits into the corner. Anyway, there's a little trick for you. After dozens and dozens of these lanterns, that's something I picked up on. Just slip that right in. I hurry and flip this over, put my bone folder inside, make sure my glue is stuck. And the last part, I always save this long tab for last. Just add a couple more dots of glue. Okay. All right. And there you have it. Besides all the cobwebs, of course. A beautiful Alice in Wonderland themed paper lantern. And it's so fun. You can just put a little tea light inside and it makes a really great little night light, or other people have used them for centerpieces for parties. Whatever you decide to do with it, it's certainly a fun craft and really simple to do as long as you have a cutting machine. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and happy crafting, everyone!